So again, welcome everyone to lower body strengthening and balance. This is our first class of the semester, or at least the summer term for this one. Again, if it does get a little bit brighter, maybe I'll take this outside, but for now, we'll do it from indoors. So again, as far as equipment, if you have your dumbbells, resistance bands, yoga mat, also a small rack for our balance exercises, we could use that as well. So I actually need to grab one here. So I'll go ahead and make sure we grab that. And of course, you want to have some water nearby. But other than that, any questions before we start? If no questions, then we'll go ahead and start with the warm-up. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I can get it a little brighter. So let's go ahead and start with some leg circles. Most of the stuff we're doing today is lower body strengthening, but we do want to warm up the upper body as well. We will be doing some upper body balance when we do the quadruped exercises on the floor, but for now, we will stick around here. All right, reverse. Switch directions. And again, there is a poll at the moment, so if you guys could fill that out, or just answer, just letting me know how you're feeling. All right, let's look left to right. Now up and down. These are movements that we will be doing later on today for our balance exercises. We will be using our shoulders too, so we're going to start with some arm circles. All right, let's reverse. Now make sure you check the chat every once in a while. So, all right, let's bring that right arm across. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Like I said, if you guys feel like doing some type of activity or video on workout, again, I recommend the flexibility and mobility that we usually do on Wednesdays. Maybe you might want to do that on Saturday again. So, switch. All right, let's go ahead and just bring that arm over our head and push down on that elbow. Pushing. Welcome if you're just joining, just warming up, not missing too much. And again, our more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but our more, I guess, challenging workouts of the week are usually on Tuesday and Thursdays. So Mondays is kind of a nice one. It's not too much, but it's not too little where you don't feel like you didn't get anything done. So I like this one to start off the week. All right, arms up, and we'll start with some trunk rotation. So just gently start turning left to right, bringing those elbows behind your back. And here's some popping, the body loosening up. All right, let's do some ab circles. So again, ab circles, wide stance. We cut left, back straight, come across, come back, and continue. And we want to repeat this about 7 to 8 times on each side. Three right now. Really get that back going. Two more on each side. All right, last one on each side. Very good. All right, go. All right, this is one of my favorite ones, big hula hoops, the white stance again. Just giant circles. Let's get that going. Good. Make sure you're going as wide as you can in each direction. As far back, as far forward, right, left, right, switch. You're trying to loosen up. Okay. All right. And very good. Let's go up to a wall. And then we're going to do leg swings. Okay. All right. So again, leg swings, I'm just going to swing my leg back and forth. I'm going to switch. All right, now I'm going to face the wall and swing across my midline. I'm going to switch again, switch legs. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to do the quad stretch. So just grab a hold right above your ankles and pull back. And usually these I'm doing barefoot. So if you have shoes on, that's okay. The only thing I do recommend if you have old shoes that are wearing off on one side, sometimes they can make you unbalanced. So just keep that in mind. And let's switch. I know Nike sometimes they make these cross training shoes that have air bubbles in them. And I remember, they look really nice. One of my friends had them, and within a week, that bubble popped. So the shoe was collapsing on one end. And I think it was just a matter of maybe a couple of weeks before he got injured because that bursted bubble was causing an imbalance, which made him pronate or supinate. I forget which one. But he got injured because of that. So again, if you have a defective shoe and it's not feeling right, you probably should avoid it. All right, so let's go hamstring stretch. So slight bend at the knees, feet together, and slightly and slowly, let's bring those hands down our shins towards our ankles. And let's bring our head down, looking towards our knees. And just maintain this position. Make sure you're breathing. All right, reach a little bit more. Bring those knees back. Straighten them out a little bit. Now, Betty. And you should feel that those hamstrings warming up. All right, relax those knees and slowly come back up. Awesome. All right, very good. All right, let's go ahead and drop down to the deep squat position. So we're just going to drop down our hips down towards our heels. We're going to stay upright as much as possible. I was working out with a friend this weekend, and I was letting him know that I really like this stretch because it stretches the majority of our body. And he's always had, not always, but he's had, and he's only about 20, 22 years old. But he's had hamstrings and hip flexor injuries. Let's get off our heels and rise a little bit. But he couldn't get down on this one. He couldn't bring his hips lower than his knees. Like this was the lowest he could go. So it just goes to show that mobility and flexibility is a huge part of our body moves. So yes, especially he's 22, like I said, so he's a little younger. He's having issues there already. All right, drop those heels and use your hands to rise back up. Awesome. Grab some water. I'm just gonna check the chat real quick. Okay, just okay, we're going to begin with more movements. So we're going to start with the slow high knee march. So we've done this before in drills and cardio, but all we're going to do is bring those knees up. Slowly, I'm already swaying left to right. And we want to do it slowly because the slower, the more we're working on our balance. Okay, and like I said, balance is a component of this class, today's class. So it's more challenging for balance the slower you do it. If you do it fast, it's more cardio, but we're not really working on our balance. So again, we want to work on our balance right now. So, and really drive that knee as high as you can. We'll do 3 more on each leg. Really try to keep those hips aligned. Awesome. Okay. We're going to go with the standing Jane Fonda now. So grab a hold of a chair or a wall. Again, we're going to do these laying down, but we're going to do the standing ones first. So standing Jane Fondas, we're just going to raise that right leg off to the side. And I really don't want you folks to lean over to your left while you're raising. You want to stay as upright as possible. You should feel that on your glutes. And make sure you're pointing. If you're looking at me directly, make sure you're also pointing your toes towards me too. Okay, they shouldn't be facing away from the screen. heels should be facing the same direction your eyes are facing. Let's do 3 more. A little more. Okay, now we're going to go to the left side. Okay. Here. Ready? Left side. Let's do 12 again. Remember, this is already part of our workout. So usually if your legs are fatiguing out or feels challenging, it's probably an exercise movement, not so much of a warm-up movement. Do 2 more. All right. And that one, if you notice, it's that leg that's not moving. Sometimes that's getting activated a little bit more. So, all right. So now we're going to go alternating heels to toes. So we're pretty much doing like this rocking motion. So we're just going on our heels to our toes. So toes, heels, just rocking back and forth, warming up the calves, working out the anterior tibialis muscle, which is that muscle that allows your foot to flex. It's that muscle that runs right in front of your shin. So about 5 more on each one. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, it's really coming down over here. Is it raining where you guys are at? It's raining here right now. Okay. Now we're gonna go walk the tightrope. So we haven't done this one in a while, but like when you see on cops, the show cops, like the sobriety test. So we're gonna go and 1 foot in front of the other, and just walk the tightrope. Try to avoid putting your heel right in front of your other toe. So we want them aligned, but we don't want them to make contact. Okay. And I'm traveling from where I started to where I am now. It's probably about 15 feet. And once you reach there, we want to go in reverse. There's some shaking happening. Just control it. Make sure you're aware of your weaknesses. All right. Okay. Just working on little warm-ups. These are warm-ups for our balance movements right here. Okay. And then the last one we're going to do before we actually start with our regular routine, because this is still part of our warm-up, is going to be, these are called the dot circles or circle touches. I'm sorry. So again, remember, try to envision yourself in the center of a clock. And all we're going to do is just tap the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then back to 12, okay? So we're doing it without doing that squat. We're just moving that leg, staying on that 1 foot, okay? So let's do 5 circles or 5 repetitions with each leg, okay? So remember, if I'm working with my right leg, that 9 o'clock is going to be on my left side. I have to come across, okay? So just keep that in mind. So work on your balance. Ready? Okay, go ahead. So 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12. And I'm doing the same leg at the same time. 2 more circles, maybe. 6, 9, 12, 13, 6, 9, 12. You're probably feeling that foot trying to grip the floor to get better balance. So you might feel your arches tingling a little bit. Okay, and I'm just gonna go counterclockwise with my left foot. So 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 6, 12, 9, 6, 3, last one, 12, 9, 6, 3. Awesome. Okay, very good. All right, so let's go grab a chair. Do me that favor, get some water, quick little break. Chair. All right, very good. Okay, so we're just going to start with some mobility work on the chair. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. So he's going to go with some high knees right here. Just kind of get the hip joint moving a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to go in. So those hips are facing forward. Right leg comes out, comes back in. We don't spend too much time on the chair, but we're doing some just to focus on one joint at a time, right? Left leg. All right, now we're going to do some knee extensions. So again, I like putting my hand underneath my leg just to elevate it slightly. And then I'm just going to extend at the knee, okay? So let's do 10 on each leg. All right, I'm going to elevate the left leg. We will be working on some arch work as well. So while we're on the chair, so usually like doing that stuff barefoot. So you might see me working with my socks and my toes a little bit. Plus, I feel like I get a little bit better grip. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and bring that leg straight, and we're gonna elevate it. Okay, so we're lifting from our hip joint. Okay, that leg remains straight. All right, I'm gonna rest that left leg. Now I'm moving with my right leg. I'm sorry, my right leg's resting, my left leg is going up. Keeping that straight. And I'm trying not to rest too much on the rest of the chair. Just trying to stay upright, so I'm really just using the leg to elevate it. Okay, very good. All right, next one here, we're just going to stretch our piriformis. So bring that right leg across, or that right heel comes over, and then I'm just going to lean towards my knee. You should feel that stretch back here on your leg. Just stay here around 20 seconds. All right, now I'm gonna hug it out. I'm gonna bring that same knee it's leaning on, and I'm gonna bring that towards my chest. Feel that a little bit more. So again, remember every class that I teach during the week, it's at 10 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Tomorrow we have strength and conditioning, Wednesday flexibility and mobility, and then Thursday cardio and core. All right, let's switch. Left heel over right foot, and lean towards that knee. Feel that stretch, piriformis. All right, let's hug it out. All right, awesome. Okay, now we're gonna go just here. We're gonna do some heel raises. Okay. So again, my hands are below my legs, and then I'm just gonna do some calf raise holds, and then slowly drop them. So I want to hold for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then bring them back down. So we're doing 15 to 20 of these, okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm gonna do 15. 15. If you guys want to continue to do 20, go ahead. I'm just gonna rest my calves because I think I told you folks I strained it last week. Okay, next I'm gonna take my socks off because we're gonna do some arch work. So if you have your shoes off, take your shoes off for sure. But I feel my feet are a little bit stronger without my socks. So what we're gonna be doing here is pretty much with the same sock I just took off. I want to grip with my toes, elevate, drop, and then just try to place it back into that same position. And then elevate, drop, and then again, just try to fix. And all the movement you're doing is with your toes, okay? So let's do 10 pickups, 10 drops per foot. And again, this is working on our arches. So if you're flat-footed, if your tendons on your arches just feel weak, if you're having a hard time doing this right now, this is gonna strengthen those tendons that go from your heel all the way to your toes. You don't really think about it as much, but you've noticed maybe when we were on one foot how much your foot was trying to grip the floor. This will help with balance as well. I'm going to do my last one on my right foot. All right, now my left foot. So you might notice, I definitely do. My left foot doesn't have as strong as a grip as my right. So I do struggle a little bit more with my left. Not sure if it's a dominance thing. Some right dominant, but it's getting better than a month ago. And you want to just make sure you fix it again. You don't want to just pick it back up, because you want to work on that closing grip, but also on the power of opening up your toes as well. Number 7 right now. 3 more. Last one. All right. Okay, if you want to maintain and have your feet barefoot, you're more than welcome to. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw mine back on. Okay. Now we're gonna stand up and start with some balance work. So. Right. Okay, so now we're going to go with the tandem stance, or Romberg stance, I'm sorry. You guys remember Romberg? Oh, let me fix that camera. So Romberg stance, our feet are right next to each other. So heels are making contact. We're just standing here, okay? 25 seconds. Two more seconds. Okay, now we're going to look left to right. Same stance. Now we're looking left to right. Okay, now up and down. All right, now we're going to close our eyes, okay? Make sure if you feel like you're falling, open your eyes. But first, you want to just separate your feet, and you'll feel a lot safer. Just change your center of mass. Ready? Here you go. 25 seconds. Closing our eyes. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. All right, and let's grab some water. Oh, actually, we have one more. I'm sorry. Grab your small rag that I asked you to find. Bunch it up. Could be just a random shape. Doesn't have to be a perfect square. Okay, and we're going to step on that. So we're going to feel a little bit unbalanced. And we're going to stand there for 25 seconds. It's been a few weeks since we've done this class, so I forgot about this movement here. So I have my right in the center of my arches, so my toes and my heels are on the ground while my arches are a little bit elevated. I'm flat-footed, so this is probably how it feels for you folks that have regular feet. So I come out of the pool and it looks like a duck footprint was on the floor. So. All right, let's hop off. Pretty good. Okay, let's grab some water, a little break. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna go with our toe walks. This is just kind of get the blood flow going. So just walking our toes pointing straight, working on our calves. We spend 30 seconds doing this. Each movement. Walk around the house. All right, now let's point our toes in. Our toes are pointing in. That's going to change the stretch, strengthening. So you see my toes are pointing inward now. All right, now they're going to point out. All right, my heels are almost touching each other, okay? Point those toes out. All right, and then now we're going to be on our heels, so probably not the most comfy doing this barefoot on your heels. And you throw on your shoes for this. Feel free. But we want those toes pointing towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And this is stretching out our tibialis anterior. All right, you could just relax a little bit. So again, all these names for different, body parts and muscles, they're just named after the area where they are. So our tibia is that bone that goes from our knee to our ankle, and anterior just means in front. So this muscle here is just called the tibialis anterior because it's in front of the tibia. No, nothing too crazy. They just pick fancy names for them. So, okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do, we have one more. We do have our hamstring sweep. So straight leg and sweep, straight leg, sweep. So it's just working on our hamstrings. A little bit of dynamic work. If you hear that word with stretching, it just means, dynamic stretching. It just means that you're actively moving as you're stretching that muscle. And if you hear static stretching, that just means it's just stretches kind of like in our cool down, where we're just sitting in one position and holding it. All right, let's do 2 more on each leg. Last one on each leg. Very good. Good job, Debbie. You're looking good. Good job. Yeah. I think like a month ago, we were a little bit tighter, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Glad the recovery's going well. All right. So now we're going to go with balance work. So we're going to go with the tandem stance. So for this one, right foot in front of the left. And we're just going to stand here. Okay. 25 seconds. It's already July 7th. I mean, June 7th. I keep saying July. Now we're going to look left to, actually, we're going to look up and down. Okay, so up and down. The tandem stance is a little bit more challenging. All All right, now we're gonna look left to right, and here, make yourself feel comfortable and careful. And again, we are standing, I think this is frontal. And then we're moving in a sagittal position now with our eyes. I might have done backwards. These are terms I learned in freshman year of anatomy in college, so I had to mix them up. All right, and now we're gonna close our eyes. So if you need to have your hands spread out, that's great. And again, if you feel like you're falling, just separate your legs like on the first one, okay? All right, close your eyes. Again, just notice and pay attention. If you feel like your right foot is leaning towards to the right or to the left, maybe your knees are shaking, maybe it's on your toes or your ankles, maybe your glutes are fatiguing. And open your eyes. All right. So yeah, so pay attention at all those little components while you're struggling, or if you feel great, perfect. But those are the little things that might go unnoticed that you have to figure out. Not have to figure out, but spend a little bit more time working on. So if you feel like you're here with your eyes closed and you're fine with your eyes open, but then you close them and then your right knee starts shaking, that probably means that we want to work around that joint a little bit more. So, okay, let's grab that rag again. Make that little unusual shape that we did earlier. And then we're also going to stand on that. And usually for this one, I have my right heel on the rag and my front left toes. Not my front left toes, because we only have toes. It's not front and back, but yeah, just gonna stand here. Five more seconds. Relaxed. All right, very good. Okay, now we're gonna go onto the floor. Okay, so if you guys want to go to your yoga mat, now's the time to do that. So some bananas here, they're getting ripe. Gonna make a smoothie after this class. Okay, so I'm just gonna set my yoga mat. So again, a quadruped usually just means that we're gonna be on the floor for a bit. So. Okay, so for okay. So quadruped, we're gonna go with some strengthening exercises first. Okay. So we're gonna start off with here with donkey kicks. So again, we're in our fours. My hands are positioned right below my shoulders, and then my knees are positioned right below my hip. So donkey kicks, I'm just gonna raise my foot back towards the ceiling. So from the side, it looks like this. Hold for about 3 seconds and then bring it back down. You're gonna do 10 of these on each leg. Make sure you're not kicking back. That bottom of your foot should be towards the ceiling. Okay, we're doing 10 of these. And we're holding for about 2 to 3 seconds. Make sure you're facing down. All right, very good. Rest that leg, rest your arms. We're gonna go ahead and switch on to the left side, okay? see. It's ready. All right, and begin. So my knee never relaxes. Okay, it's just I'm moving from my hip. Maybe two more. Very good. Okay. All right, since we're here at this position, we're gonna rest our arms a little bit. We're gonna stretch out our back, okay? So we're gonna do cat-cow position. Actually, we're gonna do the baby pose. So we're gonna raise our back, arch our back, and bring our glutes towards our heels, and just reach in front of us. Bring that head down, and just relax, breathing. Very good. Just reset. Okay. All right, we're gonna do our quadruped balance movement, okay? So for this one, we are on our fours, and I'm gonna bring my right leg up and my left arm up, okay? So opposites, and then I'm gonna hold for about 2 seconds and alternate. And again, I'm not here arched up. I'm trying to keep a straight line from my foot to my hands, okay? We're gonna do 8 on each side with the 2 to 3 second hold for each position. We can learn our balance and our core here. Good job, Debbie. Good job, ladies. Good going, folks. Last one. And once you're done, just relax those arms because those arms could get fatigued. Ooh. So since we're here, we're gonna go ahead and do clamshells. You guys remember clamshells? We're gonna do a couple on the floor. So clamshells, we are on our side. My knees are slightly bent. My heels are on top of my heels, knee on knee, hip over hip. And what we're gonna do is just separate at the knee, keeping those heels together and bringing them back, okay? But we want to separate as much as we can as possible, okay? So you really feel that activating on your glute. We're gonna do 12 on each side with a 3 second hold for each repetition. Okay. That's 12 for me. And let's switch sides. Again, just that same position. Don't get too comfy where you fall asleep. Separate those knees. And if you're doing these right, and each repetition is fatiguing that glute, those hip flexors, you should feel a little bit sore tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is strength and conditioning, and that's a full body workout. All right, once you've done 12, we're gonna do, this one's for your lower back, because again, lower body strengthening, lower back's incorporated into this one. So we're gonna bring our right leg, so I'm just here in the straight line. We're gonna be in this position for a little bit longer. So here, I'm gonna bring my right leg, which is on top, right leg back, and then up, and then down, and forward, okay? So I don't want you guys to do it in the same movement back. It has to be back first, and then up, down, forward, back, up, down, forward, back, up, down, forward. Let's do 8 of these. So we're halfway there. Two more. All right, I'm gonna switch sides. Back. So you're breathing, don't forget to breathe. The more relaxed you are, the more you're breathing, the more fluidly your muscles and your joints will move. Last one. All right. Whew. You guys feeling? It's been okay? All right. Okay, from here, we are going to be doing the Jane Fonda's. Okay, so we're still in that same lane position, but instead of bringing the leg back and up, now we're just going to raise it up and then down slowly, up, down slowly, and don't let that foot touch your other foot on the floor. Okay, raise it back up before it comes all the way down, and then again, repeat. Let's switch sides. So we're doing 10 on each side. Go there. You're in the straight line, and begin. Whew. I felt that glute activating. All right, let's rest those legs a little bit and let's work on some balance work. Okay, so we're gonna be back on the floor for a bit longer, but I'm just gonna move this off to the side. I'm gonna go back to some balance work. Grab some water if you like. Okay. So we did right foot in front of left. So now we're gonna go left foot in front of right. Okay. Any chats yet? No? Oh, pretty quiet class today. All right, so we're gonna go left in front of right. Again, we're just gonna position yourself here. 25 seconds. Fromwork stance. 10 stance, I'm sorry. So again, when we do lunges, we do squats. We're working on our hamstrings and our glutes. Our hamstrings and our quads a little bit more. But all these lateral movements, working on those glutes. Okay, now we're gonna look left to right. So left, right, left, right. Up and down. Now we're gonna close our eyes. Okay, so again, be careful. If you feel like you're falling, just separate your legs. Ready? Okay, go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 10. All right, let's grab that small rag one last time. And again, bunch it up. And let's stand on it. If you've done that, again, 20 seconds on this. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's hop on. Okay, and before we drop down to the floor, we're gonna do a few more exercises standing up. So again, we are gonna strengthen our lower body right now. So we're gonna do wall sits. Okay, so wall sits, just gonna find a wall, and we're just gonna take a little squat position, and we're gonna sit back here for 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, ready? Okay, go. At least 30 seconds. If you could give me a minute, give me a minute. Should feel those quads firming up. 10 seconds in. Whatever you have to do to distract yourself, you have to make a beat with your lat. 25 seconds in. 30 seconds in. Remember, if you could give me 30, that's great. If you could go a minute, it's even better. 40 seconds. Good job. Keep it going. This quads might be shaking, but you can get through it. 50 seconds. Good job, Debbie. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Woo! Shake those off. Good job, Debbie. It was good. Hopefully the rest of you folks are able to do that as well. Oh man. Okay. All right, so we don't get too tight. We're gonna do the quad stretch again. Or actually, we'll do hip openers, okay? Hip openers for balance. So drive that knee up, and then out, and down. So knee up, off to the side, and back down. We're gonna do 8 on each leg. Just do one leg at a time. And switch. And 2 more. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's do one more standing up before we drop down to the floor. So if you have that dumbbell, some heavy equipment, go ahead and grab that right now. So we could do some squats. So you could find yourself a heavy object, something not too challenging to hold on to. So go ahead and do that. All right, so I have a 20-pound dumbbell here with me. So wide stance, as wide as you can go and stay upright. And we're gonna squat down and then rise up. All right, good job, Debbie. There you go, slower is better for these. 3, 4. Usually inhale my way down, exhale my way up. 5. Let's do 12 of these. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you bring those glutes down. 11, last one. 12. All right. Let's put that off to the side. All right. Quick little break. We'll continue. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, now we're gonna go back to the floor. We're gonna work on some bridges, okay? You guys remember bridges? Okay. So bridges, we are gonna be, let me actually give you a horizontal view. And get creative with the limited space here. Okay, so bridges, almost like a sit-up position. Remember, we're like a sit-up, and drop to the side, and then heels are close together, And we're gonna bring those hips up, off the ground, squeezing those glutes. Hold for about 3 seconds and then drop. And again, up. 1, 2, 3, down. Up. 1, 2, 3, down. We're gonna do 10 of these. 4. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes. 5. Make sure you're breathing. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right. Rest those legs. We're gonna do a variation of these, so we're not done yet. Okay. So that was like the warm-up bridges. Turn off that light. It's getting brighter. Okay. Now we're gonna go with the single leg bridges. So remember for these, leg is elevated. That's my right leg, and same thing. So 1, 2, 3, down, up. 1, 2, 3, down. That's 2, up. 1, 2, 3, down. We're gonna do 8 of these. That's 4. That's 5. 6. 7. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes. 8. Very good. Woo! Oh, baby. All right. Left leg up. Ready? Okay. Up. Down. Up. 2. Up. 3. Up. 4. Up. 5. Up. 6. Up. 7. Up. 8. Whew. All right. How are you guys feeling? Is that okay? All right. Last one we're going to do, last strengthening one. What I do want to do is lower strengthening. We're going to do lunges. Okay. So lunges, and then we will cool down. I don't want all the lower strengthening to be, too passive. We want them to be a little bit more demanding. So we'll finish with the demanding one, which is lunges. So again, we're gonna go lunges. And that's 1. That's 1, okay? So remember, positioning is crucial here. So we don't wanna go too short where your knee passes your toes. Okay, you wanna make sure you reach and then you bring your hips down, okay? So reach, hips down. There you go. So let's do 12 on each leg. 1. 2. 3. 4. This is the slowest count ever. We're going to do 12. 5. 6. 7. 8. Just get my hands up here because they're getting tired. 9. 10. Check the chat just now. 10. 11. Last one. 12. Very good. Good job, folks. High fives, high fives. Good job, Debbie. All right, grab some water, have it nearby. All right, Patty, get your video. Grab your water and start with the cool down. So. Find your space, make sure you hydrate. All right. Fix that camera. All right, Milena, thanks for joining again. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's cool down before our legs cramp up. So, all right, left heel in, right leg back, moving forward. And remember, we want to cool down too, so we're not too sore afterwards. Nothing locks up, nothing gets tight. It's just, you don't want to leave a workout without cooling down. It just makes it easier to transition back to your regular day, and it'll make it easier for your body to recover as well. Like I told you folks before, let's switch. Now, if you guys haven't had lunch, or maybe you haven't had breakfast, you definitely want to have a little snack after workouts. Some protein in there, recover a little bit. If you have a protein shake, that's an easy one to do. So. Throwing some eggs into your shake too, make it a little creamier. All right, very good. All right, legs extended. Hollywood stretch, performance stretch. Bring that right leg over. Left arm comes over, push away, feel that stretch. Switch. Remember, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, strength and conditioning. So if you guys find some deals on, I think I told you folks, Marshalls and Ross, you'll probably get pretty good deals on kettlebells, on dumbbell equipment, resistance bands. So if you don't feel like you have much equipment and you feel like you might be getting a little bit behind, like I said, those stores do have those items. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead, bring that left heel in. Let's really try to stretch our calves. So let's reach for those toes. Just make sure you're reaching. I'll check the chat when you guys are doing those. Yep. I'll do that, Marianne. Thank you. Yep, just leave me your email address and I'll get that to you folks. Reach for those toes. Bring that chest towards your knee. All right, let's switch. Reaching. Of course, be sure you guys continue to hydrate too. So just because sometimes there's cooler days doesn't mean that it's time to hydrate less. Just make it consistent to hydrate. All right, let's bring both heels in. Both heels in, drop those knees. Those knees down. All right, let's cross. Cross those legs. And let's lean forward and reach. And that. Okay. You can just bring that left heel in, right leg back, pull back, lean back. It's almost same position with our legs as the first stretch, but now we're leaning back. You should feel that stretch on your quad. And let's switch. And I was thinking maybe we could do like a class challenge. Usually you have about 20 folks in the class per day. And, I think on average, most people walk between 5,000 and 10,000 steps per day. So, it's not impossible to say that we couldn't walk 100,000 steps in one day as a class. So let's see if you guys have like a tracker on your phone, or maybe like a Fitbit, maybe your iWatch or your Apple Watch. iWatch. I have an Android, so I don't know all the Apple devices. But maybe you guys could keep track of how many steps you take per day. And by the end of the day, you could shoot me an email, and I'll keep a little track of how much we've walked. And yeah, we could just kind of see, and maybe we could get. Let's go ahead and switch first. So let's do again the performance stretch. So bring that leg over. And I don't see why not. Maybe one day we could, or in 1 week, maybe one time we could reach into 1 million steps as a class for a week. So yeah, so if you guys are into that, shoot me an email, before you go to bed, and hey coach, I did 5,000 steps today. Or hey, I went above and beyond and did 15,000 steps. I've gone on some hikes before where I've been exhausted for the 2 weeks after the hike, where I've gotten like 45,000 steps, or my my digital watch battery dies before I even finish the hike, because yeah, it's a lot to track. But yeah, let's try that. Let's kind of make it a little bit different and kind of keep each other motivated. So who's down? Debbie? Ella? Ella, you can't do the 1,000,000 steps by yourself though. You have to give us some space too.
Count me in.
All right. Milena, you're in? If you guys are all in, yeah, shoot me an email and then we could see. All right.
Awesome. What app What app do we use on our Android to do that?
I think, let me see. I have a Garmin watch, so that keeps track of that. Let me end the recording right now. And if you do have to go, again, thanks for sticking around, and I appreciate you folks. I'll